There are basically three methods of translation. Literal translation. The grammatical pattern of the details of the source text are strictly followed. Idiomatic translation. It is used when idioms do not have a literal equivalent. Paraphrase translation. The sense in the source text is restated by the translator using its own thought and words. You might have to use it when redacting a concept note, for example. From this method, several principles emerge, including the general concept, the stylistic principle, the idiomatic principle, and the grammar principle. But the most popular principle, and the one you will base on your translation on, is the principle of accuracy. This states that the translator should give accurate transcriptions of the substance of the original. Therefore, it implies equivalence of thought, concepts, phrases, and even sentences. To help you to do that, you can apply a few useful techniques. Use sentence patterns of the target language to transmit the message in the source text. For example, in French, you will say « Je lui ai donné », which will become « I gave him to him » in English. You can notice that in the indirect object changes place in the sentence because the grammatical patterns are different. You will follow down the page a little exercise you can do. La secrétaire lui a parlé hier. The secretary spoke to him yesterday. Elle lui a envoyé. She sent it to him. A client called me. Un client m'a appelé. The delivery man brought it. Un livreur l'a amené. Place adjectives at their proper preposition in the target language. According to the language, the adjective might not have the same place in the sentence. In French, it is mostly placed after the noun, while in English, it always precedes the noun. You will find another exercise. Il a acheté une table ronde. He bought a round table. Le partenaire américain a appelé. The American partner called. The manager gave him the yellow file. Le responsable lui a donné le dossier jaune. I bought a new car. J'ai acheté une voiture neuve. J'ai acheté une nouvelle voiture. Translate the sentence rather than the words of the text. Sometimes you will have to slightly change the words of the sentence to obtain the same result. For example, in French, we use a lot the verb avoir, while in English, another verb is used. For example, j'ai faim will be translated into I'm hungry. You might also have to add a before a noun, since in English, être professeur is translated to being a teacher. There is another exercise we can do with the translation. Ce mur a 2 mètres de haut. This wall is 2 meters high. Il a 35 ans. He is 35 years old. She is a trader. Elle est marchande. I have some sore throat. J'ai mal à la gorge. Translating preposition according to the heads that precede in the target language. The preposition used in a source language might differ in a target language in order to get the same sense in a sentence. For example, a can be translated by either to, in, on, and to the preposition on might become sur, en, or de. Let's continue with another exercise of translating. Marc vient d'arriver de Londres. Mark just arrived from London. Les dossiers sont couverts d'encre. The files are covered in ink. Alma is going to the shop. Alma va au magasin. Coffee found a book on the floor. Coffee a trouvé un livre sur le sol. Using reciprocal words. Sometimes the use of reciprocal words can be necessary to translate a sentence in a manner will be closer to what a native speaker would say. For example, in French, if someone asks you to speak to your boss, you may say « Elle n'est pas occupée actuellement», while in English, you will rather say «She's free for now». Also, if reciprocal words are useful, You must always be careful not to change the meaning of the text.